The Faithful Widow and the Miraculous Feast. This is a heartfelt story of faith, compassion, and the miraculous power of trust in God. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, unwavering faith can lead to extraordinary blessings. Long years ago, there lived a widow and her young son. The father had passed away when the boy was just a year old. Despite their struggles, the mother and son were devoted Christians, deeply connected to God through daily prayers, both in the morning and before bed. The widow was particularly inspired by the Bible verse, where Jesus praised the poor woman who gave a small coin to the church, saying it was worth more than the riches given by others because it was all she had. This verse shaped her life, and she dedicated herself to serving others. Every seventh day of the month, she celebrated and honored the Holy Trinity by preparing food and wine, which she took to church to feed the hungry, the poor, and the church servants. She shared what little she had, living as an example of God's love and compassion. However, a great drought struck the region, causing crops to fail and leaving everyone in poverty. The widow continued her monthly service as long as her savings allowed, but eventually her supplies ran out. Her neighbors, who had often relied on her generosity, were now struggling themselves and unable to help her. Heartbroken, she prayed fervently at the church, pouring out her agony to God. She returned home and spoke to her son. "My son, I've done all I can to prepare for the Holy Trinity's Remembrance Day, but we have nothing left. Please go to the neighbors and ask for help. Tell them we will repay them when you are grown." Her son, full of faith, replied, "Mother, do not worry. God knows our struggles." They wept together, placing their trust in God. Later, the son caught the scent of food and wine, an aroma unlike anything they had ever known. He ran to his mother, exclaiming, "Mother, there's food. I can smell it, a flavor beyond this world." Rushing inside, they were met with an unbelievable sight. Their home was filled with abundant food and wine, enough for a grand feast. The mother and son fell to their knees, thanking God for his miraculous provision. As always, they went to the church. Upon their return, they invited the homeless, orphans, and the entire community to their home. Together, they ate, drank, and celebrated, transforming their house of sorrow into a place of joy and gratitude. The neighbors, amazed by God's deeds, vowed to honor the Holy Trinity on the 7th of every month, inspired by the widow's faith and generosity. From then on, the community was united in remembrance, love, and service, carrying the widow's legacy of faith forward. This story teaches us that kindness, selflessness, and trust in God's plan can transform not only our lives, but also inspire an entire community to come together in love and service.